Well, Black and White Network, Kamala Harris has a new ad. And in this ad, she's trying to make it seem like she's always been tough on the border and tough on crime. Now, folks, we know that's not the case whatsoever. I don't actually see how any law enforcement agency would actually support Kamala Harris. She's opened up the floodgates across this country. She is a communist that is a liar. She's actually stealing Trump's policies, especially when it comes to no tax on tips. She's running a terrible, terrible campaign. Now, in this new ad, man, if you didn't know Kamala Harris, man, you would actually think that she was the toughest person ever on the border. But however, folks, the border czar herself has been in charge of the border, and we had a record number of people coming across the border illegally here into this country. Kamala Harris has done nothing whatsoever to protect the citizens of this country. Just ask Lake and Riley's family. Yeah, she's dead. And I told you guys before, what was it, last year before last? An illegal alien killed and raped a little girl probably about 20 minutes away from me out here in Texas. Yeah, Kamala Harris is a fraud. But in this new ad campaign, there was actually a sheriff that was actually in this ad campaign, and it was very, very misleading. Kamala Harris wanted you to think that, hey, these police officers actually support me. Not the case, because this California sheriff man is coming out and destroying Kamala Harris. So let's get into it, guys. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member live stream every single Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you're watching on Rumble, click the join button to get access to the same thing. And everyone can also support us by becoming a member on blackandwhitenetwork.com or supporting us on Locals, both for just $5 per month. Check the links in the description. So here we go. Right here. California sheriff slams Kamala Harris over misleading ad. Yeah, this sheriff, man, he is very, very pissed off with Kamala Harris. A California sheriff issued a scorching attack on Kamala Harris after this image was featured in a new political ad in which she touted border security. Tulare County Sheriff Mike Boudreaux described the ad from the Harris campaign, which shows him and other law enforcement officials standing behind Harris during a press conference, as deceiving, doing an appearance on Fox News on Tuesday. Now, in case you guys have not seen the ad, luckily I got it pulled up right here. So let's go ahead and watch it real quick. It's 30 seconds long.
Kamala Harris has spent decades fighting violent crime. As a border state prosecutor, she took on drug cartels and jailed gang members for smuggling weapons and drugs across the border. As vice president, she backed the toughest border control bill in decades. And as president, she will hire thousands more border agents and crack down on fentanyl and human trafficking. Fixing the border is tough. So is Kamala Harris.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Okay, so you saw that right there, and right around about here. If I can find it real quick. Right there. That's Mike Boudreaux right there. Okay? And in this ad, it's definitely make it seem like that he's supporting Kamala Harris. Not the case. Now over here. This is what he said. He was on Fox and he said, quote, "I can tell you that here in California, we're ready for someone that's going to support law enforcement. Kamala Harris and law enforcement in California. We're very familiar with her and how she has done over the course of years as a senator and as a prosecutor and as the attorney general. I can tell you that this ad is deceiving, to say the least. I remember this particular case where we did a drug cartel or a drug trafficking organization where we work with the DEA. And in this particular case, she showed up. She didn't shake anyone's hands. And she quickly left the briefing room, he continued. So for me and law enforcement to see my face and image, along with my law enforcement counterparts, being represented by standing alongside Kamala Harris was truly disheartening. We do not support Kamala Harris. Yeah. So Kamala Harris now being exposed as being a fraud. These law enforcement officers do not support her. And honestly, guys, I could be wrong about this, but I don't recall any law enforcement agencies actually supporting Kamala Harris. Because really, guys, what person in law enforcement would actually want to support Kamala Harris when she definitely won't be supporting you? Remember, she was actually helping the BLM criminals get out of jail during the Summer of Blood, and some of those people went on to kill other people. Yeah, she has blood on her hands. It goes on, it says, while a statement from the sheriff said he does not endorse any other political office, he said on Fox News that former President Donald Trump, the Republican nominee, best represents, quote, someone who's going to support criminal justice and law enforcement over Harris. In other words, guys, he's basically telling you, if you want law and order, you better vote Trump. Yeah. Boudreaux was critical of Harris's record on border security while she was California's attorney general. He issued a statement through the Political Action Committee he has formed to support conservative candidates, Golden State Justice. Quote, we were in the green room. She never came in and said hello to any of us. She walked up front, gave her presser, literally walked out, and never said hi to any of us. I'm disgusted because, she didn't shake hands. She didn't say hello. And she's taking credit for all this work that the locals did. Yeah, Kamala Harris is a fraud, man. A complete fraud. And this is one of the reasons I believe, guys, that she's had like a 92% turnover rate in her office during her time as Joe Biden's number 2. He goes on, quote, as Attorney General, Kamala Harris undercut efforts by California law enforcement officials to stop criminals from flooding our state with guns and drugs across the border, the statement reads. She repeatedly defunded and shuttered task force designed to protect our residents, leaving the valley and our state vulnerable. Kamala's sad attempt to paint herself as tough on the border by implying my support and the support of neighboring law enforcement leaders is pathetic. Yeah. Boudreaux lambasted Harris's claim that she spent decades fighting violent crime, as a border state prosecutor and describing it as misleading. Quote, a politician crowding the podium at a press conference clearly hasn't solved our border crisis, Boudreaux said of the ad. Neither has Kamala Harris. The facts are that then California AG Kamala came to the Valley in 2014, touting a years-long investigation into a multinational drug operation with ties to Mexican drug cartels and prison gangs. So, there you have, man. I mean, this sheriff right here, man, just saying flat out, man, Kamala Harris is a fraud. And I do not support her. Donald Trump is the one that actually is going to support law enforcement. And we all know that, guys. That ad was so fake, man. Anybody that knows anything, I'm pretty sure you people in California that actually know Kamala Harris know she's not tough on the border. But shout out to this sheriff, man. He's absolutely right. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.